toast. My lips are toast. Anytime it's winter. So I'm just gonna put another layer and then we'll go ahead and start. Okay. Stomach grumbling. So, I just broke out my new brushes. I've had these for about 4 years, I think, and I've never used them. They were a gift. An old friend of mine, Naruto brushes, a kunai. But I decided to use them for this video. Super cute, super dainty. I love the handles. I've never used them. Maybe one day I will bring myself to use them, but maybe not. Okay, so we're gonna start out with this giant one. And see, like, I've never used them. So I'm gonna take it out of this thing. And we're going to begin. Also, I will not be using names or actual dates, just for legal purposes. I will be doing like assumptions, okay? So, for those of you that have been around for a little bit before kind of like the rebrand of the channel, I was married, and I am now divorced, but I was married for some years, and here is why it did not work out. So, a couple of years ago, I reconnected with my middle school sweetheart. And he was my very first serious boyfriend ever. And we dated for like almost a year when we were like 12. And after we broke up, we never really spoke because technically he cheated on me. So, he like held hands with another girl, and I was like, shook to my core. And then because of that, like, we never really talked after, like, through high school. We didn't really talk. Like, we hung around in the same friend group, but we didn't really talk to each other because we thought we both hated each other. And then it was like kind of towards my junior year, he disappeared, and I got into another serious relationship, and I never saw him again. But he was kind of like always in the background because I was like really close friends with cousins of his, and we still stayed in the same friend circle. So people kind of still like talked about him. Then I moved to another city that was like maybe almost like an hour away from my hometown. Actually, I guess I should I might have slid into his because every picture that I had posted, he would heart. And so I decided to call him out. I was like, you can heart all my pictures, but you can't even ask me how I am. And so I called him out, and then we started talking since then. So maybe I should have just left him alone, honestly. But we got up and we hung out, and it was like we just picked up right where we left off. Like it was like we never left. Things just felt. Sorry, I had to cut this little hair off. Things just felt very natural with him. I felt like there was no awkward phase. Like we knew each other already. He knew me. He knew what I was about, and I knew him, and I knew what he was about. I already knew he had a kid, and we just like reconnected, and we talked for a while, and it felt kind of magical. I was delusional then, but we just hit it off really well, and we talked for a long time, and then we started dating, and I had never been treated as nicely and felt as included. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, where was the baby mama? Why didn't you have like red flags about the baby mama? But everyone that I talked to, that I asked, that I had any questions or anything, they would be like, oh yeah, his baby mama was really. And so I am not ever really. I try not to judge. I try not to judge people. I'm gonna have to cut that and edit this video. I try not to judge people. Like if somebody comes to me and tells me like, oh, my ex is crazy, like I'm gonna be like, what'd you do to make her crazy? You know? Because I know how men are. And I know how women are now, so his family, everybody told me like he's been doing so good, like these last 5 years, like he just takes care of his son, he goes to work, he handles all the business here at the house, and he's just been doing so great. And they all told me like, we really think that you're his reward for all his hard work. And like I still think about to this day how his aunt, who lives in another state, reached out to me, and she was like, we have prayed for you for so long, and I will never forget the kindness that she showed me and still continues to show me to this day. Yeah, everything just felt like so whimsical and so fairy tale, and so everything was so good. And about a year in, the mother of the child decides to basically give him up. So I went with him to go and pick up this baby from another state. And since I first met that baby, we were like this. He took a liking to me instantly. And of course, me being me, I loved him, and we just hit it off. I started to look into like checkups and doctor's appointments and everything that I needed to do because this baby was not vaccinated. the spectrum, and he was nonverbal. So we started like everything that we needed to do. I changed jobs so that baby could get insurance. I started Medicaid applications, Katie Beckett applications, everything that I could do. And then I would often get well, you're not his mom, so there's not really much that you can do. And we need a parent, and you're not his mom, you're not his mom, you're not his mom. And I understood that, but my job was more lenient, so I could like leave if I had to, and kind of handle the stuff. So we decided to get married so that I would have some sort of rights to be able to make appointments and take baby to his appointments, and he would fall under my better coverage insurance. So we got married, and good, really good, and we were married for a while, and then out of nowhere, things started getting fishy. Finding so much. Money was disappearing. He was disappearing. And I just couldn't quite figure out what was going on. Please keep in mind, this has drug abuse. And here, so if you're triggered, please click away. I couldn't figure it out. And I personally had never had any experience with people who are struggling with DRUGs. I mean, my dad was an alcoholic, but that was as bad as it. That's like, it's a whole different thing. And it turns out for about the last 6 months of our relationship, almost a year, he had been doing fentanyl. And it was traumatizing, to say the least. Maybe I'll go more into depth if I decide to kickstart my Patreon, but he had overdosed in front of me twice, and in front of baby once. And sorry for being so spacious, I like have goosebumps, and I'm like, just kind of to stay connected here. He really bad. I didn't know what it was until I had OD'd the second time, and my brother had to come and break the car window to get him out. And the cops were like, "Do you know what this is?" And I was like, "No." And they told me that it was F. So from there, we took him to like a mental health facility because that was the second time in a week that happened, and I didn't know the first time he did it is because I thought he was really trying to commit the biggest, and so the second time I thought so too, and he was going through a lot. He had just lost a very close family member, and people don't know how to handle things sometimes, so they'll turn to their vices instead of just talking. And so I took baby, tried to get away from all that. I took care of him, but then it started with legal trouble, if he would have cheated on me with some girl boss who had 4 degrees instead of 3, was a 2-time published author, a New York best-selling author, who was kind and compassionate and had a rockin' body and was this superwoman, then okay, I think I would have been a little jealous. But I don't mean to toot my own horn. But just say that it messed me up in a way that I won't be the same, but it messed me up in a way that I won't be the same. Sorry, I don't mean to cry, but it still hurts because I went in there with the thought of forever, and I was willing to do everything that I had to do, and I really did try my best, and I really wanted my first marriage to be my only marriage, but I don't regret it because I did what I had to do for baby. We were supposed to get married in 2023, October 13th of 2023. I had to put a down payment on the venue, I had put a down payment on the photographer, and I had put a down payment on the DJ, and I lost all that money. I went wedding dress shopping, bought 2 dresses. We took the Catholic classes, so we could get married in church, and I don't regret any of it. I wish I could have done something different so that my dad got married. I know everything happens for a reason. I am also at fault because I should have seen red flags since the beginning. Everybody had told me it had been clean for like 6 years. And from what I had known, it was only marijuana doing into the harder stuff after his family member passed away. And it's just hard because now I have this incredible human who is so patient with me and so kind, but I don't know how to trust him. I don't know how to love him. He says I do a very good job. It makes me sad because I don't think the version that existed before this heartache exists in me anymore. I don't think I could ever trust anyone like that ever again. And I've done the therapy and I've done the steps, forgiveness, whatever. How do you guys really know? How you really know that you can trust someone and they're being honest with you every day? This man would tell me that he was not high, and he did not cheat, and he was not cheating, and he was not doing anything that he was not supposed to. And there are things that I'm still finding out about to this day, so I know my partner now doesn't deserve that, but he is so patient, and he is very kind, and I've never met somebody so understanding and was able to communicate, and I hope this is what I deserve. I have a tattoo here that says good love will find. And if it's found me, then I am glad. But I am scared. And I know you guys don't come up here to see people cry. You guys are like, ASMR is supposed to be relaxing. peace away from the chaos. And that alone makes it all worth it. So, with all that being said, I hope you guys are staying peaceful, staying passionate, you are drinking your water, put chapstick on, it's winter. Sure, you're doing some sort of skincare, and it's the holidays. I know they're a big trigger for some people, but just know that you're never by yourself. Always have a friend in my corner. I hope you stay peaceful, stay passionate, and may the world be kind to you. May the world be kind